And I am going to share my screen so I can show you all about Canvas Studio. Just so you know, I, as well as the rest of the Canvas committee, of which there are many members in this audience today, really pushed to have Rush purchase Canvas Studio with our Canvas instance. It is not cheap, but it is really cool, and you're going to see all about it today. I'm going to show you quickly how to make Canvas Studio active in your course right now. So what you're going to need to do is in your Canvas course, go to settings. It's at the very bottom in the white section, not in the green. So in whatever course you are in, you need to make Studio active. All right. So you go to your navigation and you look for Studio. If it's not currently active, it's going to be somewhere in this really long list down here. And what you do is you stick your mouse on it, hold your mouse down and drag it up to the top, let it go, and then scroll to the bottom and hit save. Okay, that's all you do. Now let's go into Studio. I'm going to go like that so that we don't have that as part of our, move this out of the way. All right, so what you're going to see here are my studio videos as well as the studio videos of my students in OTCD, okay? And Studio is active for you and your students. That's the beauty of this, is that your students have access to Studio too, all right? So I'm going to show you how I made these videos. These are instructor videos for my students. So there's 4 of them. This is an announcement, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Up at the top, there's a record button. You have 2 options. You can do a screen capture. Now, for those of you who are used to using Screencast-O-Matic, this actually replaces it. So you don't even need to use Screencast-O-Matic anymore. You can use this, okay? So you can, and actually it's the same tool. They must have purchased or have some kind of agreement with Screencast-O-Matic. So if you hit screen capture, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, this looks familiar. It's Screencast-O-Matic. Okay, but we're going to do a webcam capture. So this looks familiar, right? This is literally all you do, is you hit webcam and you click start recording and you talk to your students. You get a countdown, you look at your camera, and you start talking to your students, just like this. Now, if you have a presentation, like a PowerPoint or any other type of presentation, or a website or something you want to visit, you would do a screen capture instead of a webcam capture. So I'm going to hit finish. Now that is a horrible thumbnail, horrible. So I will show you how to change that in a minute. So while that is rendering, you can also add media to Studio. So if you already have videos on your computer that you've made in other ways, you can bring in Panoptos. If you have them saved to your computer as MP4s, you can bring them in. If you want to pull in YouTube videos, you can pull in YouTube videos, okay? Anything that is like an MP4 file, okay? I don't know of any other files that you can pull in. We'll have to investigate that. I'm not an expert on Studio yet. You can pull in by browse files. And then any other video types of links you can pull in here, and they'll show up just like these other things here. It's really awesome. Okay. Oh, that's the thumbnail. That's even worse. Oh my word. Okay. So before I change the thumbnail, the way that you go in and make edits and changes to your video before you give it to your students is by clicking view. So in this view button, I have some different things to look at, okay? I can go to my details, and the details, for example, would be the title of my video. You'd want to give it a title that's very clear to you, because if you have a lot of videos, you'll want to be able to clearly know what the video is, so it's easy to find when you want to put it on one of your pages in Canvas. So I'm just going to call that practice. You can even tag it and stuff like this. You can add descriptions, things like that, but I'm just going to call this one practice. One of the fun things about this is that students can add comments to your videos, and Laura's going to show you some even cooler things that they can do. And as an instructor, you can subscribe to those comments if you want to, and you'll get notified when students make comments. Insights, this is cool. I'm not going to show you that on this video. I'll show you it on a different video. Captions. Captions are really accurate for me. I don't talk super fast when I make videos, so maybe that's why, I'm not really sure. So what you do for captions is you tell it what language that you spoke, and you request the captions, and it's generated by Studio. They're very fast turnaround. And then once they are ready, you go in and you can review them and make any changes you need and publish them. Okay, so I'm going to, I don't want to download, or I don't want to delete that. So let's go back, and I want to change this thumbnail because it's horrible. So the way to change the thumbnail is by clicking these three dots right here and clicking replace thumbnail. So the way that I create thumbnails is by using PowerPoint. It's seriously the easiest thing to do. Like, here's an example. I have a YouTube channel for my kids that I'm making videos for them. Like, God forbid something should ever happen to me. And because I have a toddler at my age. So, oh God, look at the title that you're getting to see. But anyway, this is how I do it. So I create like a title for a video. I take a screenshot of this, and then I upload the screenshot as the thumbnail. So it'll ask me, what do I want? Okay, whatever. Okay, I'll put it up here, and then it'll replace the thumbnail. Okay, but I want to show you what the captions look like. So I'm going to go into this video to show you what the captions look like. And you can see, so this was just a quick announcement that I made the other night for OTCD. Brian wasn't home yet. Look at me, it's the end of the day. I'm looking hit. Mason's crawling all over me. But you know what? This is real and this is life. And Rhonda just made some really awesome comment, and I wanted all of the students in OTCD to hear it. And so here's the insights first. You can see every student who saw your video, how long they saw your video. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And then you can also look at your captions. Now, I purposefully did not review my captions yet or publish them because I wanted you to see what it looks like. So I'm going to click review and publish so that you can see what they look like. It puts in punctuation, which is different from YouTube because YouTube doesn't add punctuation. I'm sorry if you can hear my daughter talking to Mason. Absolutely nothing I have to fix. Nothing. So I click publish, and the captions are now available to students should they need the captions. And that's as simple as it is. So what you do in Canvas Studio to be able to get your videos into your content, let me go to a previous week. I'll go to this, for example. And I'll click edit. You can put Canvas Studio content anywhere. You can put it in discussions. You can put it on pages, anywhere that you see the editor bar. I'm going like this as if you can see my finger touching the screen. That's so funny. But this icon right here, do you see it? It says Studio. That's the button that you click. Thank you to Matt for making that Studio button active. And what that will do is pull up your library. All right. And you can filter your Studio library if you want. You can make collections. So if you want to make collections for a specific class, you can make collections for a class as you start to build your library. Okay. But I can scroll down and I can pick whatever video I want to pick. So I'll select this one. And I usually just leave these alone. I don't know what display download option means. Let's just click it and see what happens. And then I hit embed. If you want to do multiple videos, you can also do multiple videos. So let me save that and let's see what it looks like. Oh, a little download button appears. And so I guess this allows students to save it to their computer to watch it later. Yeah, pretty neat. So what do you think?
Very nice, very nice.
It's so simple. It's so easy to make instructor content now.
I love this feature, Angela. You were right yesterday. It's awesome. So I'm, of course, I've got my other computer open and I'm looking around on it. And I just opened a module that I happen to be working on because it needs to open in a couple of days. And so when you go into edit mode on the module, I see that that little icon for Studio is hot. And so can you just, when you're working on a module, and you want to insert a video, something that you've done or something from somewhere else, just on the spot, click that little icon. I'm afraid to click it here, but you just click the icon and then you can bring a video in.
You can upload from a computer here, and you can also bring in an external link. So if you wanted to add a YouTube link, you could do it this way. And the benefit of Studio that Laura's going to talk to you about in 1 minute is the ability to, this comment feature that's built in is super powerful, as well as the ability to kind of add like quiz questions and stuff like that, and the captions. So that's, I think, a really powerful part of Studio, and it just looks slick. You know, it looks really seamless, and you don't have the additional bits with YouTube of, oh, go watch this video and that kind of thing.
Right. Well, this is great.
I'm glad you like it. So I am going to hand it over. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to hand it over to Laura, who's going to show you some really slick, cool things that you can do with Studio.
Hi, everybody. Can you all see my screen? Yep, great. Yep. Okay, so yes. I am really excited to be here and with Angela talking about Canvas Studio. Really love this tool. There are so many possibilities and so much potential when using Canvas Studio in your course. And you know, the best of which is that it's really easy to quickly create content, multimedia content, interactive content for your students, and add it to anywhere where you really see those rich content editing tools, whether it be assignments, pages, quizzes, discussions. You can add Canvas Studio videos to those areas. So I'm just going to quickly, there's a lot of potential. We don't have time to talk about every single possibility, but I'm going to just quickly show you a couple of things you can do to get started. And if you want to reach out to me or any of the IDs to work with us on getting Studio added to your course and to your your assignments and content, please do, because I would love to see more faculty using this. I'm sure as all of us would. So say as Angela sort of shared, Angela already covered sort of the basics of adding Canvas Studio. You can also access Studio from your global navigation bar here on the left. And this is where you would actually come to if you wanted to add a video and then add these types of interactions, such as annotations and quizzes, etc. So say I wanted to add, oh, I don't like it when this excuse me, just a sec, when the bar covers it. Say I wanted to add this video of cute baby animals on a seesaw to my studio and create annotations and quiz questions about it. So I would again click on this add button in the upper right hand corner of your screen. I would simply just paste this YouTube link in here and click add video. Then we have this video added to the my studio here. Say I wanted to create a discussion or a quiz based upon this video to see who everyone decides is their favorite cute baby animal. I would go into either of these tools here where it says create quiz or annotate video. We're going to first go to annotate video and click on that. And annotations are basically just areas in the video, like you would annotate text, you want to annotate a video. You want to add comments or questions along the way, typically question prompts that you would want your students to pay attention to as they're watching the video. So you see at the bottom left-hand corner, there's this little plus sign. So say I wanted to add an annotation at 1 minute and 28 seconds, I would simply click on that marker in the video. Oh, of course, why not, right? Click on this plus sign. And there I can say, here's question 1. What do you think of this puppy? Right? And then I would add it under the description area. You could also adjust the headline, the display text, etc. But I'm going to just simply do that. Click save. And then I have a question prompt at 1 minute and 28 seconds. I would continue, say I wanted to add more prompts. I could do that throughout the video. And when I'm done, I would simply press done in the upper right-hand corner, and those annotations will remain in that specific video for use in any area of your course where you want to add that video, a Canvas Studio or the studio recording to your course. You can also, as I mentioned, add quizzes. Sorry if I'm racing quickly through this. I just want to make sure I have time to talk about briefly all of these things. If I wanted to create a quiz, I would click on this create quiz button. And this process is somewhat similar, right? So I want to say cute baby animal quiz. And what's another nifty thing about quizzes is that, say you want students to force them to watch the full video, not fast forward to the area where their quiz questions are. So you can enable this option that says hide question markers on timeline. So the students won't know where the questions are, which really forces them to watch everything up until and after that point in order to complete the quiz. So I'm going to enable that and click get started. And then, like with annotations, I would simply just, put that add button there where I want to add and say, I want to add a question about this point in the video. So I would click there, click done. Oops, sorry, I meant to add the question. Sorry about that. Cute. We'll go back to cute baby animal quiz. Drag it to this point, click question. And then I'm presented, or click the plus sign, and then I'm presented with 3 possible options. You can create multiple choice, true, false, or multiple answer. We'll go with true, false. This puppy is cute. true, right? And you can add feedback, right? For correct answer, for incorrect answer, general feedback, which they would get immediately upon finishing that question in the quiz. So I'm going to click save. And I'm just going to add one question here, and then I am done. So again, any annotations or quiz questions that I add to this particular video would remain when I want to add this Canvas Studio video to my course. And I'm going to actually go over to a course where I've added a few options to show you just a glimpse at like the possibilities when using Canvas Studio in your course. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to impersonate a student. Because I want you to see it from the student view. I'm going to impersonate David. And I'm going to go into modules where I've created this Canvas Studio demo module and added 4 potential possibilities for using Canvas Studio in either a page, an assignment, a discussion board, or a simple Canvas quiz, right, or test. So let's walk through this really quickly as if I was a student completing these interactions in your course. Say you wanted to add a knowledge check, a series of knowledge check questions based upon multimedia content or video content on a Canvas page. You can add a Canvas Studio quiz to a page where students can check their knowledge of, say, the material you just introduced on that page. So say we're talking about the circulatory system. I'm asking David to complete this pre-knowledge check quiz to test his knowledge about the circulatory system before he gets started. So he can go into that page, click on Get Started. And he will, in this case, oops, I'm going to stop it. This is a little quiz or a little rap about the circulatory system. I have not hidden those areas in the video where he would see question prompts. But I could do that, again, to force him to watch the whole thing. But if I were to click on one of these, you would see a question. Which number shows the right atrium? I think it's number 14. I click continue, and then I keep going, right? Another thing that I love about this is that if they go all the way to the end and they decide that they're done, there's no quiz results yet. They should be prompted, and I forget exactly where that happens. Maybe it's actually on an assignment and not on the Canvas page. Anyhow, say that they completed this and they clicked each of these questions. They've completed all the questions. They go to the end. They can submit their quiz. This, again, I'm still on a Canvas page, so it's not going to record to the grade book, but then they can see how they did. And get their results. And like Angela showed you, when you get feedback on student interaction, you can actually see how your students performed on that quiz on a content page, right? By going back into the studio that's been embedded in your course or in your page. So you can do, this is not only available, of course, with a page, but you can do that in an assignment, right? You could add this heart quiz to the assignment, which would actually record in the grade book if you made it for points. And these are really great ways of adding kind of low stakes, assignments to your course, or even no stakes, right? Where you just want to check for completion, etc. And again, we're going to get quiz results. I would get it if I completed it, and I would get David's as a faculty member. Another thing that I wanted to briefly talk about, since we only have 5 minutes, is the ability to use Canvas Studio in your discussions. And it has a lot of great potential there because, again, I know a lot of you, we get tired of the endless, scroll of text, right? Constantly basing everything in text for discussions. Well, Studio enables you to have really dynamic discussions based around video content, right? Or another type of, recording that you've added to your studio. In this case, I've added this video by Michael Wesch on online teaching tips, provided some instructions for students to engage with, and then added annotations or question prompts along the video, right? Which I would like to use to guide my discussion. So let's go to this one here or here. Well, you'll see them along the line, and then you see them also here beneath. So the tricky thing is guiding students to respond in the right area, right? Because in order to assess this, which you don't have to, you could simply just do as Angela suggested, have a robust discussion around video content that is not graded right beneath the video itself. And you and your students can post questions and replies, which are then again annotated at those specific points in the timeline. So another great way of having a conversation, kind of like VoiceThread, if you guys have ever used that or seen that tool, having a conversation around a video recording. But in this case, I'm scrolling down because I want students to respond to those question prompts in the discussion board itself so that I can grade it, right? So in this case, Peg Paisley created her own audio response to one of my question prompts here. Laura Lewandowski responded in text form to another question prompt. And so now I can use that, again, that studio video, and they can reference and go back to that should they want to revisit any of that area or use what Wesch has suggested in the video to help guide their discussion response. So I'm sure you guys are all thinking about the possibilities where your teaching is concerned, right? There's so much you could do here in terms of discussions. And then lastly, and I'll stop, I'm not going to go through this, but you can also add studio videos to quizzes, right? Say you wanted to have students watch a video about diabetic ketoacidosis. Did I pronounce that correctly? You could add that to a question, right? You could add a prompt to a certain point in the video and add a question to your directions, and then ask students to respond in the question or in written form to the question prompt using the video to guide their answer. So there's so many possibilities, and I'm so sorry I've raced through this so quickly. I just get really excited about it because I love simple, effective ways of adding interactivity to your course, especially multimedia. So I really hope you guys will run with this, and please reach out to any of us should you want to use Canvas Studio to do any and all of these things in your course. So I'll send it back to Angela. We got 1 minute for questions. Sorry about that.
Laura, thank you so much for doing all this work and providing these examples. Studio has so many options, as you've noticed. Dina did ask a question about Studio and Panopto. I think that using Panopto is a really good option, especially if you are thinking about like a full classroom capture, like a full lecture capture if you are in a classroom. I think that that's probably where we're going to be pushing people. We'll talk about it with Matt and with IS. We may be kind of pushing people to using Panopto for that versus the online stuff, maybe sticking with Studio because Panopto that's how Panopto started as, lecture capture for the classroom. But if you are comfortable with Panopto and want to stick with it, then go ahead and stick with it. But the Studio is just very, very simple, and it's built right into Canvas, and you don't have any complicated moving parts with Panopto.
And to be honest, Angela, I'm really thinking about using both. I just want to make sure that wouldn't be jarring or not fitting into best practices for the students.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Josie, that is so funny you asked that. We actually just talked about that in our last Ed Innovation team. And by the way, if you have to leave, faculty, feel free to leave. We're just going to answer questions. We did ask the Educational Innovation team if the faculty would be interested in a faculty-only resource shell in Canvas. So far, we have no. But if those of you in this, we have a lot more people here. So if you think that that would be a good idea, post in the chat, yes or no. And if you think it's a great idea, then we in City would, well, look at this. Maybe it's something that we should do, because we could put a lot of stuff in there and have faculty join it if they want to, and give you access to a bunch of stuff there. Okay.
Thanks.
All right, we can do that. And when we get it created, we will let everyone know, and it'll be one of those self-join things where you can just find it. It'll be open and you can just add yourself. And we'll have a link to all of our videos on YouTube. We have a City YouTube channel. You go to YouTube and search for CTEI Rush, and make sure you spell it right, CTEI. You'll find our videos there, and this one will be included as well once it is rendered through Zoom. We'll put this one up there too. Hey, Laura, you sent that just to me. You might want to send that to everybody. There you go. So thank you everyone for coming. You always have access to the instructional design team if you want to learn more about Studio, but I would just encourage you to just play with it, try it out. I think you're going to find it a wonderful tool for your students, and your students can use it too. You can use this for presentations. You can use this for anything you want the students to talk to each other in discussions, anything. So have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you for coming. We appreciate it, and look out for more workshops this month and next month. Take care.